In this sewing tutorial, we're going to learn how to sew a mock flat felled seam, which is slightly different than a true flat felled seam or lap seam. To get started, we'll go ahead and put the wrong sides of the fabric together. This is similar to setting up a French seam. You can tell the wrong sides of the fabric because they're usually discolored a bit. Once you have the wrong sides together, place the fabric under the presser foot, and we're going to stitch a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Go ahead and stitch straight down at 5/8 of an inch, and then when you get down to the bottom, go ahead and reverse and back tack a little bit to hold the stitching in place. Now we can trim our threads and get ready to prepare the mock flat felled seam. To make a mock flat felled seam, we need to trim one of these seam allowances. I generally trim the one on the bottom because it's easier, but it does depend on which way you actually want to fold the seam, so make sure you pay attention. Trim it in half to about 1/4 inch or so, and try to be straight, and don't cut into any of the other parts of the fabric. Now we'll go ahead and lay the wrong sides of the fabric down, and then we're going to wrap the longer seam allowance around the other seam allowance that is now trimmed shorter, and this will encase it and keep it from fraying. You want to try to press this down and keep the width very equal and even so it looks nice and straight. Once you have this set, you can go ahead and put it under your presser foot, lining up right on the edge of that new folded seam. Stitch a bit, then back stitch, then take a second to make sure everything is nice and straight, and then continue top stitching to hold that mock flat felled seam in place. As you go all the way down, you can pause to readjust your fold to keep the width nice and consistent and looking sharp. You want to keep the stitching distance from each other even as well. Backstitch to keep everything in place. Go ahead and trim your threads. And now you have a mock flat felled seam. From the front, it looks like a normal flat felled seam, but on the back, you can tell that the stitching only goes through all the layers of fabric on one side. On a true flat felled seam, it would go all the way through. This is also called a lap seam, and you see it in jeans, and it takes a special machine to be able to do, particularly a double needle and double bobbin sewing machine. But this works really well too and can be used on shirts. Once you're done, you can go ahead and press this seam down with your iron, and it will make everything lay nice and flat. Now you know how to sew a mock flat felled seam. Happy sewing, everyone.